Good morning to you. Hope your Sunday is off to a good start. I'm meteorologist Chris Still. We're going to get on here for a few minutes and update you on your last day of summer forecast. Today's Sunday, the last day of summer. Fall will begin at 2:19 p.m. officially on Monday afternoon. Meanwhile, Gabrielle is still out there in the Atlantic gaining strength. We'll have the latest on Gabrielle and let you know where that storm will be headed. We'll also take a look at your Sunday travel forecast, and it is going to be a hot start to fall of 2025. All of that coming up in the next 10 to 12 minutes. But right now, let's start out with a look back at your Saturday as we take a live look over Lake Thurman. I'll bring that out to a full shot here so you can see it. Real nice, beautiful morning out there. A few high clouds, looks like some cirrostratus clouds, maybe a few cirrocumulus clouds mixed in there. Saturday was a warm day. The last Saturday of fall hit 92 degrees. The average high is 87, so definitely a warm day. Not as warm as it can be. This is the third day in a row, I believe, where the record high was set in 1925. So let's be glad it's not 1925, because that would mean we had 102 degrees to look forward to later on today. 45 the record low, so we can have quite a range of temperatures this time of the year. We'll be somewhere in the middle for today, maybe a couple of degrees cooler than it was on Saturday. We had a little weak backdoor cold front come through, and all backdoor means is it's coming through from the northeast. Usually they come in from the northwest, so that I guess would be a front door cold front, but for some reason, we call it a backdoor cold front when it comes in the opposite kind of way that they typically do. The average low 64, that's 63 yesterday. Not too unusual for this time of the year. And we did have our first rain in about 2 weeks officially at the airport. 0.13 of an inch of rain fell. I know North Augusta got some rain. Much of the area did get at least a little bit of rain. In fact, Daniel Field actually got about 0.4 of an inch of rain on Saturday afternoon. It was a hot one in the CSRA. These were your high temperatures on Saturday. There's that average high of 87. The official high for Augusta goes down as 82. You stayed in the 80s in Washington with a high of 88, but the rest of the CSRA got into the 90s with 90 in Swainsboro, 93 the hot spot in Sylvania, and it was a pretty sweltering day for this time of the year in Aiken with 92, and we had a little bit of humidity thrown in there with it as well. But that front I mentioned has passed through the area, and that's going to mean lower dew point temperatures. And dew point is a measure of your humidity in the air, basically. So the lower the dew point is, the less muggy it feels, and the cooler it gets at night. With clear skies and light winds, you pretty much fall down to whatever the dew point is. So if we had a dew point in the 40s, we could easily fall into the 40s. If it's in the 70s, you can't get cooler than the dew point temperature ever. So when you have a high dew point, you have very warm mornings. So with these falling dew points, the next couple of mornings will be cooler than what we have been seeing. It will be a less humid afternoon, so while it's going to be warm for this time of the year for your Sunday afternoon, it will be less humid than it was Saturday. Plus, it will be 1 or 2 degrees cooler as well. So definitely an improvement if you thought Saturday was a little too hot. As we start off fall tomorrow at 2:19 p.m., it will be a dry start to fall. Monday and Tuesday for sure, staying dry. High temperatures, though, will be warmer than average. Low temperatures, especially tonight, will actually be a couple of degrees cooler than average, a symptom of that very dry air mass that will be building into the area. We still need a lot of rain, and it looks like our best bet for some meaningful rainfall could be on the way along about Thursday or Friday. I think is going to be the best bet for some real soaking rain to come into the area. Really the first substantial rain we've had in close to a month, I think, since we really had more than about 1/10 of an inch of rain that we saw Saturday. And then Thursday and Friday, there it is, that potential for some much needed rain. We'll show you that 7-day forecast in just a moment, but right now, that shot at the lake, so nice. I thought I would show it to you twice here. There's the dam in the foreground, light ripple there on the water. Should be a great day to head to the lake. 10 o'clock temperatures in the low to mid 70s. By 3 p.m. upper 80s, and by 8 p.m. rain free. A few clouds in the sky, but definitely a nice evening with middle 70s at 8 o'clock in the evening. Right now at 9:34 on your Sunday morning, temperatures are already into the 70s after starting off in the mid 60s this morning. Our warmest weather in Sylvania, you're at 74 degrees with partly to mostly sunny skies. Still in the 60s over there in Crawfordville with 67, also 67 in Aiken, 68 in Saluda. and kind of warm there in Evans at 73 degrees. First Alert Radar Network is rain-free, but we'll take a dry scan live here just to make sure, and we are not looking at any rain for your Sunday. Not your Monday either, probably not Tuesday or even Wednesday, even though I put a small chance of rain for late in the day. Our next, again, meaningful chance of rain will be Thursday and Friday, and it looks like that might linger into the first part of next weekend as well. Here's a look at our weather map this morning. We have an area of high pressure centered along the Gulf Coast. We have another high pressure center up to the northeast across New England. In between, we have a stationary kind of diffuse weak front stalled right across the area. We are going to be on the drier side of that, so I do think rain chances today will be virtually zero, maybe 5 or 10%, but really not enough to mention in the forecast. Another front to our northwest is a stationary front as well, so all that energy rain out in Oklahoma over into Kentucky, western Kentucky, all of that is going to stay to our north and keep us dry for the next few days. Let's take a look at our computer model here for the next 24 hours or so. At noon today, partly sunny. We'll have a light wind from the east to northeast today at about 4 to 8, so a pretty light breeze. It will be a dry breeze bringing in the drier, low humidity air, so it's really going to be a beautiful Sunday afternoon. 4 o'clock in the afternoon, a few clouds in the sky, but that's about it. I don't expect any rain today. 4 p.m. temperature around 87 in Aiken, about 86 for you in Louisville. As we head into Monday morning, we had a few areas of fog early this morning. We might have some patchy fog early at the bus stop on Monday, but certainly nothing in the way of rain. Wake up temperatures in the low to mid 60s. At 8 o'clock, we'll be there in the mid 60s. And then tomorrow, another rain-free but warm day, maybe a degree or two cooler than today. We'll keep highs tomorrow in the upper 80s. And then as we head into Tuesday, ridge of high pressure starts to build into the area aloft, and that's going to really warm things up for a couple of days, Tuesday, Wednesday, and possibly even Thursday as well. Not today though, partly sunny, less humid weather. That is kind of the theme today, and that means really no chance of rain. I did put a 10% chance there just because it will be warm. If you did get a shower, it'd be farther south, Sylvania, Millen, Swainsboro. Maybe a sprinkle today, but again, probably not. I think basically a dry Sunday. Northeast winds at 4 to 8. 88 your high today in Waynesboro, 86 in Johnston, and 87 in Thompson. Tonight, mainly clear skies. Could be a cloud or two, but that's about it. Overnight lows in the low to mid 60s, pretty close to normal for this time of the year. 61 in Saluda, the warm spot, Sylvania at 65. A very light, basically calm wind, but we'll call it a northeast wind at 1 to 3. For the first day of fall, it will be a cool start at 62, but a warm finish. The average high 87, we'll hit 88 for the high temperature on Monday. Then we'll warm it up even more Tuesday and Wednesday. Notice overnight lows start to come up, and if you've been watching this whole time, you remember I was talking about higher dew points, meaning higher humidity. Well, that does mean warmer nights. So those warmer nights on the 7-day are an indication that humidity will be coming up, and rain chances coming up too as a cold front moves in here Thursday. It's going to be a slow mover that may stall for a few days. I think our best chance for heavier rain could be Thursday night into Friday. Next weekend, I'm going to hold on to about 40% chance of showers on Saturday. Our threat for severe weather right now appears to be very, very minimal, but for football games next Friday night, very well could be some rain to contend with, at least scattered showers. We'll have to keep an eye out for some fairly widespread rain on Friday. May interfere some with our football plans, but we do need the rain with a big deficit now on the year. So welcome relief could be on the way toward the end of the week, but for the next few days, looking dry. If you're traveling on this Sunday, well, radar is clear all across the mountains, the Atlanta area, the Georgia, South Carolina coast. Anywhere on this screen here is basically a rain-free forecast for your Sunday. So we are looking good. Current temperatures as of 9:38 in the morning on Sunday, 69 degrees in Columbia, lower 70s along the coast with 72 in Myrtle Beach, 71 in Charleston, 72 in Savannah, a warm start there in Brunswick at 81, and 69 degrees at this hour in Macon. Around the country, if you're traveling today, about a 30 to 40% chance of rain in the Chicago area with a high near 80. 80. Hot one out there in Dallas. They're underneath the ridge of high pressure that will be building to the east and over our area Tuesday and Wednesday. So yeah, 94 their high, and those 90s are headed to the east. LA, a nice mild day, about 30% chance of rain. They don't get a lot of rain out there. Their highs in the mid 70s, and in Florida, a hot one in Orlando. I'm sure they'll have some humidity to go along with it, but it doesn't look like much in the way of rain across central Florida or really any of Florida today if you happen to be traveling. If you want cool weather, I'd say go to Boston. Look at that, 65 degrees for the high temperature with plenty of sun. Meanwhile, I do want to update you on Tropical Storm Gabrielle. This is as of 8 o'clock on Sunday morning. The winds were 65 miles per hour, and that was holding steady from the 5 a.m. advisory. Northwest winds at 9 miles per hour. It is moving northwest, like I just said, at 9 miles an hour. Pardon me, it's been a long morning, been up a long time, but here's your forecast track. It is still forecasted to turn north before getting to the island of Bermuda, so good news there because it is forecast to strengthen into a Category 2 hurricane over the next 2 to 3 days, and then it heads up into some cooler water and stays out at sea, where personally I think hurricanes belong. Meanwhile, in the tropics, there's a 30% chance of development of this system here, where you see the orange X there. I'll bring this full screen so you can see. Right now it looks like this one very likely may follow the same path that Gabrielle is following out to sea. That's kind of the preliminary indication. Even if it did stay west and affect the U.S., it's probably 10 days away from the U.S. mainland, so definitely a long time to watch this storm, and doesn't right now appear that it's going to be a threat to the U.S. But we'll keep an eye on it, and we're going to go ahead and close out this segment here with your 7-day forecast. Fall starts on Monday at 2:19, but it's not going to magically cool off. In fact, it gets warmer for the first full day of fall on Tuesday. Hottest day of the week is on Wednesday with a high near 92. That 20% chance of rain, really don't worry too much about that if you have outdoor plans on Wednesday. I think that would be probably Wednesday night if that forecast pans out. Thursday is when rain chances do start to go up, 40% Thursday, and then becoming likely Thursday night and into Friday. And right now it looks like there's a chance some of those showers will linger into Saturday as well. So we're still timing out this storm system here, but late week into the early weekend, if you have outdoor plans, keep a close eye on the forecast because there could be some much needed and hopefully welcome rain headed our way. Well, that's all I've got right here. Thank you for tuning in today. We'll have more on the forecast right here on WRDW on our app. If you don't have the app, just go to the App Store and search WRDW First Alert Weather, and you can have the weather app right here in the palm of your hand. Hope you have a great Sunday and an even better week. We'll see you later. Take care.